writes into the Tom Leykis Show. He writes in and says, "You won't believe this one, Tom. This has got to be the worst example of high maintenance I have ever experienced. I've been dating this chick for a few months now. And it's an exclusive deal, boyfriend, girlfriend, right? Well, I'm planning this business trip to Vegas, and I ask her if she wants to go along my treat. She's all over it. Now, let me say that she is no trailer trash. She graduated from Harvard with honors, bought her own house at 24, drives a BMW X5, and is self-employed. She's now 31. A few days after deciding she wants to go on this Vegas trip with me, I get an email that basically says I should also be paying her to go with me. In fact, right out of her email, I'm quoting, it says, "You should feel privileged that I would go with you to be at your disposal and at your beck and call. And for free. But you like free. Taking advantage of me, like taking me to Vegas so I can come to your car show and look nice by your side? Can you believe this crap?" Tim goes on to say this girl is gorgeous, half black, half white, 5'7", 130 pounds, athletic, active, bolt-on C-cups, and F's like a racehorse. But she's sitting on the curb right now, he says. I'm not going to put up with that crap. Thank you, Tom. Son, Tim. Now, we've all heard of the high-maintenance types. Maybe you've dated one or at least met one who spit in your face or whatever, but you know what I'm talking about. We've all met the chicks who think that you owe them money, that... you ever hear the chick who says that you should buy her dinner so you can have the pleasure of her company? As if your company has no value whatsoever. Yes. You should be buying me dinner because I'm eating with you, and I'll be sitting there with you. I'll be there every minute. I'll be there with you. Yeah. I love when they do that. How about chicks who expect gifts? Ever been with a chick who expects, like, jewelry, diamonds, whatever? I mean, no, a guy I know does that, and if they do, they'd never admit it to me. You know what I'm saying? But, I mean, I've had chicks actually tell me that what they wanted for a particular holiday was a diamond necklace or a tennis bracelet. Ever get that request for the tennis bracelet? You know why they ask for the tennis bracelet? Because they've already got the diamond earrings from the last sucker. So when they get down to the tennis bracelet, they've usually gotten diamond pendants, diamond earrings, and diamond rings from the other guys they've dated before. And now they're going for the quinella with you. You know what I really like? I saw a tennis bracelet I really liked. By the way, here's an irony. Have you ever seen anyone playing tennis in a tennis bracelet? Never. No way. Might ruin the tan. You know the deal. High-maintenance chicks really piss me off because somehow they think that they are giving you value for value received. You are to buy them things, pay for things, and, it's one thing when women kind of subtly expect that, but this letter writer is talking about something really blatant. You should pay with me, she says, to go to Vegas. You should pay me to go to Vegas. You should pay me to go with you to Vegas. I mean, how outrageous is that? But I would be willing to bet that you boys have had just something as egregious or even more egregious. High-maintenance women who think that their presence, their mere presence, has financial value, that you can put a dollar sign on it, and that you ought to be forking it over. Ever gone on a trip somewhere? Woman asks you what you're doing this weekend. Oh, I'm going to be out of town. I'm going on a trip. Oh, really? I'd love to go. Where are you going? Lake Tahoe. Lake Tahoe. I love Lake Tahoe. So you go to Lake Tahoe, and she's staying there at the airport, and you're in line. She has no ticket. You have a ticket. You get up there, you hand them your ticket, and then she's waiting for you to whip out your credit card and pay? Like, who said I'm paying? I was going without you. I didn't need you to go with me. And now you invite yourself along, and now I'm supposed to whip out the credit card and pay for yours? All I can say is I better get my money's worth when I get there. I love the women who, after they get you to pay, then when you get there and you expect to get laid, they're like, I can't believe how outrageous that is. I can't believe it. You got to be kidding me. What is more outrageous than waiting for me to lay down the plastic? What is more outrageous than that? How many times have you been with women who've done that? Let's talk about the single mother thing once. I once dated a woman who had 2 kids, and she was there with her sister and her sister's son. All right? So that is a total of 6 people, including me, 5 other than me. And they're all from out of town, okay? Now, the woman I'm dating, is in town, and the visitors are from out of town, but they've only been in town for a couple of years, and they've never been to Disneyland. So we all go to Disneyland, all 6 of us. We get in the car. By the way, when you live in Los Angeles, the last thing you want to do is take people from out of town around town. This isn't like being in New York and paying $1.50 to take the subway to the Empire State Building. It's a big pain in the ass to get in the car, sit on that goddamn freeway, and you know what that 5 freeway, you're probably listening to me right now on that 5 freeway. You know what I'm talking about, that Santa Ana freeway, when you're getting down toward Knott's Berry Farm. I don't care. They can expand that to 50 lanes. They just expanded it to what looks like about 12 lanes. I don't care. They can make it 100 lanes. It will always be slow. There you are, creeping your way towards Harbor Boulevard to go to Disneyland. And I'm sitting in the car with 5 other people, 3 of them children, okay? And I never do this. Get down there. And, of course, if you've been to Disneyland, and by the way, who doesn't love Disneyland? It's perfect, okay? I mean, when you get there, it's perfect. It's perfect marketing. It's perfect product. The characters, everybody loves it. Of course everybody wants to go to Disneyland. You just don't want to take the people from out of town down there. Let them go by themselves. Or I'll go by myself when I feel like going. But I don't want to take you when you want to go. I want to go when I want to go. That's all I'm saying. So you get to Disneyland, and of course, Disneyland, you know what? Don't believe what they say about the Walt Disney Company and the stock price and all this. The Walt Disney Company is making money hand over fist because they've got great products. I don't care if it's Mickey Mouse or ESPN or what it is. I mean, come on. They're making a fortune. And when you get to the proof is in the pudding. When you get to Disneyland, you can never get a parking space near the entrance. You are going to park way out there because thousands of other people had the idea before you did. So we park it and by the way, if you've been to Disneyland, every parking space, rather than having parking sections as lot 3, lot 4, lot 5, like Dodger Stadium, you've got the Mickey Mouse parking lot, the Goofy parking lot, right? The Donald Duck parking lot, right? So you're parked in the Minnie Mouse parking lot, which is practically, you know what I'm saying? It's practically not even in Anaheim anymore. You're in Buena Park parking the car. Then you got to make your way to the entrance of Disneyland, which is they get you on these golf carts on steroids, and you make your way from the parking lot to the entrance of Disneyland. And you get there, and Disneyland, and this gets you on all the rides and everything, Disneyland is $42 or $43 a person. So you arrive there, and I arrived there with 5 other people, 2 of whom I don't even know, okay? I don't even know the other 2. I'm there with the chick I'm dating and her 2 kids. What was I thinking, right? And then her sister and her sister's kid. 2 people I don't even know. So all 6 of us arrive at the entrance of Disneyland, and it's $42 to get in. So here's what I did. I put down my MasterCard and said, 1, please. It was $42. And then that meant the woman I was dating had to put down her MasterCard for $210. So she does it, and she doesn't say anything, right? And all 6 of us sweep merrily into Disneyland. And then later on, you know what? It's barely perceptible. You know, you can just tell there's something wrong. You know, kind of like right before an earthquake. You can just feel a little rumbling. But you can't really tell what's going on, right? So here we are, walking around Disneyland, and finally we are, like, getting into the evening. It's dark, and they have this big presentation, this big water show with fireworks and lights and everything. And it's this big, I don't know what they call it. It's a big show they got there. And so we're sitting there. I'm there, and I'm there with the woman I'm dating, and she lets her kids go off with her sister and her sister's kid. Now it's just the two of us sitting there getting wet because we got these great seats right up on the water, and all the water from the water show is splashing all over us. And we are sitting there in the kind of dank Southern California night, and the water is splashing us. And she turns to me and she says, I can't believe you. I can't believe you. Why not? I didn't even know what she was talking about at this point, right? She says, well, you could have been a gentleman. I said, what, did I not open the door for you? Did I forget to say gesundheit when you sneeze? What are you talking about? By the way, that's a whole other topic for a whole other day. You can vomit and nobody ever says anything, but don't ever sneeze and let it go unnoticed. No, you could have been a gentleman. I said, I have no idea. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. No, I really don't. Then you get that one, you spend it a half hour. No, you know what I'm talking about. No, I don't know what you're talking about. No, you do. No, I don't. Well, if you don't know what I'm talking about, you're even less of a gentleman than I thought. What are you talking about? Well, if you were a gentleman, you would have paid for all of us. What do you mean I would have paid for all of us? It's $42 a person. 6 people going to Disneyland, that's $252. But who's counting? I didn't want to pay $252. By the way, I'll tell you the truth, I didn't even want to go to Disneyland. When I go to Disneyland, I want to go with my friends. I want to do it when I want to do it. I didn't want to do it today. You dragged me down here, and I came down, and you met. She actually said to me, now get this, you owe me. Are you listening? You owe me $210, what she said. And then I swear to you, later on, like days later, she was actually asking me, this is the absolute truth, she was asking me if, I said I'm going to be over a little while, I'm stopping off at the ATM. She said, did you take out the $210? I mean, what is that? We're talking about high maintenance. What the hell is that? You know what? There isn't any poon in the world paying for on that basis. There just isn't. As evidenced by the fact that I dropped this chick like a bad habit. By the way, that single mother thing, you know, just why? Why did I never learn? I did that. That's why I tell you boys all the time, look out for that stuff. But high maintenance women, man, I mean, I'm not talking about the normal high maintenance. You know, the chicks who spend money on expensive clothing or accessories or, you know, cosmetics or whatever, or want to drive expensive cars and hopefully you or some other sucker will pay. I'm talking about the chicks who are really, really blatant, like, why aren't you a gentleman? And if I go to Vegas with you, you're going to have to pay, and stuff like that. Have you ever been with a woman who was not only high maintenance, but really, really blatant about it?
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Well, break it down for me.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
I'm a fairly new listener. I've been listening for about 6 months now. I love the show from day one. I've been hooked. I'm like a drug addict.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Mark on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello. What are you doing to that phone? The cord get screwed up or something? He's breathing. I know he's there. Doesn't think I'm talking to him.
Tom.
Mark!
Sorry about that, buddy. The boss walked in.
Ooh.
I got to tell you, man. I was out on a date with this girl in Seattle, the land of the 40 buckers. And if you'd like me to explain that term, I'll do it sometime.
Mm-hmm.
We're at a fairly nice restaurant, and I'll have you know that I've been paralleling your ideology years before I even heard of your show. I just started listening to your show and love it, especially being in the Northwest where it all rings true.
Mm-hmm.
And we're out, and she decides she's getting lobster. Now, I always eat first, and so I did have a salad. And not only does she get lobster, she gets $20 a glass of wine. So, me being the gentleman that I am, I excused myself, and needless to say, I didn't call her again.
Did you just leave?
Yes.
And did she know you were going to leave, or did she think you were going to the bathroom or something?
Not sure.
You just said, excuse me, and you got up and left.
Exactly.
Oh, I love that.
All right.
I love that story.
It's the way it should be.
You're right about that. Thank you for that, Mark. Now, by the way, he's exactly right. If you're out with somebody, this is your professor speaking. If you are out with somebody and she starts ordering $20 glasses of wine, starts ordering Chateaubriand or lobster, absolutely. Stand up. Make it look like you're going to the bathroom. And get out. Get out, get out, get out. Do not stay around for when the bill comes. Get out. Let her pay, let her drive herself home. That's it, done. Is that true, Dean? Dean and Gary went out with Mrs. Snuggles one night, back when Mrs. Snuggles and Snuggles were an item. Where was that, the W? Or someplace on Wilshire. Beverly Wilshire? You go to Beverly Wilshire, maybe? Crescent Heights and Wilshire. I don't know. Anyway, there was Mrs. Snuggles ordering $14 Greyhounds. Grey Goose and grapefruit. $14 apiece. And, Dean, you were expected to put down the old plastic, right? Plus a tip. Those are like $17 when you get right down to it. Holy cow. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. And I'm wondering if you've been out. I mean, forget high-maintenance chicks. We've all met them. I'm talking about the high-maintenance chicks who are really obvious. Like they tell you that you should pay them to go to Vegas with you. Or you should buy them jewelry or things like that, who just really, really overt about it.
The Tom Leykis Show.
Lisa on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom, I just wanted to tell you the next time get an annual pass to Disneyland. You don't have to go through all that. And you were a gentleman because you paid for your own way in.
Right. I didn't expect them to pay for me. I thought I was very gentlemanly.
Exactly. And I was listening to, it was so funny because when you started that conversation, I was right there by Knoxville Farm and almost peed on myself laughing because I'm like, I understand about that Disneyland stuff. But you know what, Tom? I was thinking that email, what he should do, he should ask her how much is she charging, and then when he gets the price, he should send it to everybody that's going to that conference.
Send her phone number and her email address.
There you go, because she's offering a service. Somebody will pay for it.
That's a good point.
Yeah, Tom, so get your annual pass, and then you don't have to worry about paying for anybody else.
You mean into that chick or into Disneyland?
Both. Whatever ride you feel like you want to ride, Tom. You know what? Whatever ride you feel like doing. You are just too wild. I love you. You know what? I have one question. What happened to Joe Crummy?
Joe Crummy is a radio personality I used to work with years ago who fills in occasionally at KABC Radio in L.A.
That's how long I've been listening to you.
There you go. That's a long time, Lisa.
Okay, Tom. You have a good one.
Thank you. You too. Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. It's John on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, John.
I'd ask you how you're doing, but I know you're doing great.
Thank you.
Hey, listen, I have a good gold digger one, a girl I met and took her out on the first date. We sit down to the table. We're both holding up the menus, and I watch her eyes as she scans down the menu, and she's looking toward the right side of her menu where all the prices are. Then she orders with the waitress, and I look at my menu and see, damn, she just ordered the most expensive thing on the menu.
Uh-huh.
That's how she picked what she wanted for dinner. What's going to cost this guy the most money?
Mm-hmm.
This was after we were sitting at the bar waiting for our table, and I order a Corona, and she orders some weird-sounding drink. I don't know what it was. And the next thing I know, I'm paying the bartender $20 a pop.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, needless to say, it was the last time we went out.
Oh, see, I would have done what I suggested before. She did that. I'd stand up. I'd say, excuse me, I'll be right back, and then I'd leave.
Yeah, well, I know the Leykis 101 rule about leaving if they take a cell phone call.
Oh, yeah. Well, you know what?
I don't know about leaving if they order over the $40 limit.
No, I'm not. You know what? If they order an entree over the $40 limit, I'm definitely out of there.
Well, then next time maybe I'll try that one.
Give it a shot.
Hey, thanks a lot.
Thank you, John. Appreciate the call. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Here is Matty on the Tom Leykis Show.
Tom, what up?
Not much, Matty.
I got snookered into a trip to Vegas.
Tell me how.
I'm dating this girl. Planning on doing the drive, right?
Yeah.
Cali to Vegas, not really very smart. But a bunch of events transpired over the course of the day. Arguing back and forth. Got to the point where it was like 5 o'clock, and I'm still in L.A. Hadn't left. We're at each other's throats. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't we just fly? We were close to her aunt's house, so jumped online, Southwest, normally pretty cheap, round trip. Told her how much it was going to cost. Talked to the guy on the phone. He's like $180 for each of us, so like $300 and some odd. Told her the cost. She's like, cool. Go and party in Vegas, have a pretty decent time. Come back, get in the car, refuel, driving home, leans over, puts her hand on mine and says, oh, by the way, thank you for the trip.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Ugh.
Dude, I was dumbfounded.
Ugh.
I mean, check it out, Tom. I do pretty well, make good money, but I didn't come up around money. So it's like, my money's my money.
Right.
And, I mean, it's not my style. I don't do crap like that.
By the way, most people don't.
Well, I mean, I see the
whether they grew up with money or not. Most people keep their money to themselves, and nobody is cheaper with their money than women. Nobody.
Well, yeah, but now she's...
Even women who grew up around money are cheap with money.
Just ain't right.
It's the way it is. So you got to get them back. You got to do that walking out of the restaurant thing. That teaches them.
I totally beat it. I mean, you know, that's the other thing with me. I mean,
but she already got what she wanted. She got a trip to Vegas.
Yeah. Well, she didn't have much money to gamble with. I mean, I was doing most of the gambling. She was just kind of kicking it and partying with me. But I mean, still.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just wrong, man. And
it all stokes that attention whore flame. The idea that she got you to pay for her trip.
Brother, man,
look how valuable I am. Look how hot he thinks I am. He's willing to pay. She called all her friends and said, you know what? I did this guy, Matty, and he took me to Vegas. He paid.
It just pisses me off that I have to tell that story. It's first time caller, brother, and I just had to get it off my chest.
Matty, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Appreciate the call.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866. The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. Max on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Max.
How are you doing today?
Do you care?
I really do.
I'm doing great.
All right. Hey, I got a story for you.
Yeah.
You guys are talking about gold diggers this hour.
Uh-huh.
I'm Korean.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually, date Korean girls.
Yeah.
I took out this chick last night at a restaurant called Yamashiro. I don't know if you know that.
I've been there many, many times, right above the Magic Castle.
Exactly. And, I take her there. She buys her dinner, trimmings, all the drinks.
Yeah.
And turns out to be about $80.
Mm-hmm.
And, what the guy got to do, right? So, I pay the bill. And she goes, let's go get a drink. So we head down to Dublin's in Sunset.
Uh-huh.
And,
I know all these places.
I'm 22.
Yeah.
And so, we'll go to Dublin's, we'll have a few drinks. I shell out another about $50, $60. And we end up going home, and she didn't even give me no play.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what am I supposed to do, Tom?
Well, that's why I tell you boys not to spend more than $40. That's it. You can get away with going to Yamashiro just for drinks.
It's true.
You still get that great view. You still get to walk through those beautiful Japanese gardens there.
Uh-huh.
And why spend money on the food? Not to mention, what's it, $7 or $8 to park your car there?
Yeah.
Oh. So my recommendation is you hook up after dinner. Hey, what are you doing after dinner tonight, you ask a woman. Why don't we
Good
hook up
idea,
for a
Tom.
drink? That's what you do. You ask them if you hook up for a drink after dinner.
Good idea, Tom.
There you go. I'm watching out for you, Max.
All right, thanks, Tom. Can you take me out with the old school Seahawks style?
Of course we can. Here's old school Seahawks style. I think he also wanted this. He probably wanted that too. It's 1-800-5800-TOM. That's our telephone number. Let's say hello to Chris on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis show. Hello.
Hey, Tom. First-time caller, long-time listener.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay, here's my story. Pretty much, it was a girl from work, young one, talking 18. I was about 27, 28 at the time. And then we were messing around. I would pretty much have my way with her. You know, I just used her for a little talking and teasing and stuff like that to get whatever I could. You know, she'd give me the flash and all that fun stuff. I never closed the deal because I was pussified, Tom. I had a girlfriend at the time, and I never closed the deal. But at that point in time, I just kind of walked away, and then I talked to her again. I met up with her another day, and then, several years from that point in time, and then I started asking her out on a date again, and then it kind of got into a weekend trip. She kind of talked me into a San Diego weekend trip. We're getting down to the gold digger deal. Anyways, you know, she's a little bit older, more mature, kind of figured out my game, so I wasn't as on top of it at that point in time. But from there, I just, you know, kind of got talked into agreeing to going on this weekend trip. It turned out that it wasn't going to be anything Dutch or anything. It was going to be me paying. She started sending me emails online telling me hotels to go to and things like that, and I looked at the prices. We're talking about $300 rooms a night.
Where'd you have you going, to the Del Coronado?
Someplace like that. I mean, I didn't even know some of the names at this point in time. And I was pretty stupefied. She goes, well, where are we going to eat? And I got these ideas and things like that, kind of boosted it up like nobody's business. And I'm pretty sure I probably could have closed the deal, but at that point, that's just too much money for any of that. That way blows the $40 rule.
Yeah.
So at that point in time, I was pretty bummed out, and I just kind of, this girl was even into a threesome possibly with a buddy of mine back when we used to tease and flirt around when I had my way with her. And then I mentioned that again on the phone because my buddy was sitting there when she called one night.
Right.
Oh, and she blew it off. She just started getting offended and playing that girl trip on me. And at that point in time, I just said, you know, and I actually twisted it because some things happened between us, you know, way back when where it kind of, you know, on an emotional level, and I just kind of said, you know, I don't want to just use you or anything like that because she knew how I was way back when, and so I just kind of blew it off, utilizing her own medicine, said, you know, I don't want to use you and treat you like that. So I think it'd be best because things could happen.
Yeah, you deserve better than me.
Exactly. Just to get out of that situation and still make out like the so-called nice guy.
I wouldn't want to get out like a nice guy. I'd want to get out and say, you...
You know, the more I hear about it, the more
bitch.
I was hearing the stories like nobody's business, and believe me, I'm sitting in here telling myself, you bitch! And I had to call because this fits right along the lines, and now it's like I can see it every day. Every day I see these girls doing certain things like that. Hey, can't blame them. If you can get away with it, great. There's lots of suckers out there, but not this guy. Tom, I appreciate the call. I need a bong hit, and I thank you, Jesus.
Here you go, Chris.
Thank you, Jesus.
It's 1-800-5800-TOM. Terry on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi, Tom.
Hi.
I just want to comment a little bit on that whiner that was talking about taking that girl to Vegas.
He was a whiner?
He was a whiner.
Why do you say that?
I figure he's a whiner because, hello, any negotiation we have with any friend or any person, let's just get it straight and clear right up front. Why didn't he just say, when will you be paying for this if you put it on his credit card? I kind of came in the middle of that whole thing, so I don't know what the original comment was that he made, but I know he was whining on and on about how she never paid for it, and he was surprised at the fact that she wasn't intending to pay for it.
Yeah, well.
And, you know, that's...
Well, how about when a man says, you know, I thought you were staying in the hotel room with me. I thought we were going to have sex. And she says, I don't know why you assumed that.
Well, if she isn't paying for the trip, she better put out.
Yeah, but you know what? Women do this all the time. Terry, I know you probably haven't dated a lot of women, but trust me, I have, and they do this. They get you to pay, then they get there, then they show up in the burlap sack when it comes to go get in the sack, and they go, good night.
Tom, I think the guys do the same thing.
I have never shown up in a burlap sack.
Tom Leykis.
Tom Leykis?
Leykis.
Leykis.
1-800-5800-TOM.
Say it on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Dad.
Hello, Ed. I'm the father you never had.
Damn right.
The Tom Leykis Show.
The Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. Let's say hello here to John on a cell phone. John, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Well, hello, Tom.
Hello, John.
How you doing, Tom?
Do you care?
Yes, very much so.
I'm doing great.
Okay, I got one for you. I'm at work. I meet this beautiful, she's 30, 31-ish, divorced, lives in Rancho Palos Verdes.
Uh-huh.
So we make.
So you know someone else is paying for that house. You know she's not paying for it.
Oh, yeah, I found that out.
You mean you didn't know it going in?
Well, we...
Did you imagine that a woman bought herself a house in Rancho Palos Verdes with her own money? You didn't really think that, did you?
No, I had a pretty good idea that the ex-husband was footing the bill.
Like anytime you see a woman driving a BMW, a Mercedes, a Lexus, hello. Do you really think that they went in and wrote a check for that?
No, her ex-husband did, I'm sure.
I'll bet he did.
Okay, so we talked a little bit. I'm at work, so I don't have a ton of time, but, we make a date for the following Friday. So she tells me where to meet her up off of Pacific Coast Highway, right near Palos Verdes somewhere. I'm not super familiar with the area. So I go up there, and I'm running late. Work's taking me, so I'm calling her, and she's already at this restaurant, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm calling her, and I'm telling her, I'm on the freeway, I'm running late, I'm stuck in traffic, I'll be there, right? I call her about 3 or 4 times. She says, no problem, I'm in the bar, I'm having drinks, I'll wait for you. Excuse me. So I finally get there, and I have myself a couple of Sol Cervezas, and then all of a sudden the bartender slides me over the tab.
Oh, that's awfully presumptuous.
She sits there and drinks the whole time waiting for me, and then swings me the bar tab. And after that, I kind of I didn't really dig it, but, you want to do what you got to do to get in. This was prior to my Tom Leykis knowledge, my going through the Tom Leykis course.
Yes.
So, of course, I put the bill, and then we went and had dinner, and then we proceeded to go back to her house. And I'm not kidding, Tom. She lived on top of that hill over there, and she had to live in at least a $2 million house. At least.
Wow.
And we had talked after that, and she makes a quarter of my annual income in a month from her husband.
Wow.
So, I'm not making super good cash. I'm not making bad cash. Dropped out of high school in the 9th grade, make $40,000 a year. So, but she makes $10,000 a month sitting on her fat ass, and she expected me to pick up the bar tab. Now, I feel that's a gold digger.
I think you're right about that. Thank you for the call. 1-800-5800-TOM. Jamie, on a cell phone. You're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Jamie.
How are you today?
Do you care?
Of course I care. I wouldn't have called in.
Well, you might have.
Hey, I got some comments here. I totally agree with you about the gold digger thing. But I don't know. There's something to be said about a gentleman that's ready to foot the bill.
What does that mean?
That means that, I'm more than willing to pay my own way, most definitely. But I find I like it when a guy's...
Well, of course you like it, because you get to put your money in your own pocket and save it for yourself.
But
so you can spend it on your own handbags and accessories and clothing and cosmetics.
If I make myself look good, then he looks good being with me, too.
Oh, in other words, he doesn't make you look good at all.
Well, it depends on who he is, doesn't it?
Oh, so he has no value at all. Yeah, I understand.
The Tom Leykis Show.